We are so glad that you could join us. You find the time to join us today. Thank you so much. Continue subscribing to our page on YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook. You'll find us on Eastlands Expressions on Facebook. And please tell your friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend that we are live. So today's show, we are talking about crime and how the youth are engaging in crime during this pandemic and even before. And we have amazing guests in studio today. They have amazing stories for us. And I'm sure by the end of this show, I'm very, very certain that you are going to be left inspired. You're going to be left searching for where you can get a hold of any one of them, maybe to have a talk with the youth in your neighborhood, in your area, because of what they are doing in the community. And to start us off, we have an amazing human being here with us. Wow, his story is one of a kind. Peter Ouko is our guest today. He has an amazing story to tell us. I don't want to disclose too much. He's going to tell us much more about his life, but he runs an initiative called Crime Sipoa. He'll tell us about it, but hey, brace yourselves to enjoy this show. Karibu sana Peter Ouko as he joins me on stage here. Karibu. Karibu sana. Oh, wow. Uko tu hapa. Sijui kama kamera zitatushika tu vizuri. Anyway, welcome to Eastlands Expression. We have read your story. I'm sure very many of us have read your story, but I'm sure the audience probably will love to know who is Peter Ouko before we get into the story.
Oh, Peter, because you've been shared with, is just a Kenyan, Kenyan by birth, parent, and I run Crime Sipoa.
Hold your mic, yeah.
I run Crime Sipoa, which is an organization focused on helping the youth get out of crime.
Okay.
So we not only work to get the youth out of crime, but we also work with those who've been incarcerated when they come out to resettle in society and just move on with their lives.
Okay. Peter Ouko, we have seen you on TEDx, we have seen you on TED Talks, sharing your experience in life. So how do you want to tell us this story from where it all began?
I mean,
maybe you can share it in brief as we continue.
Yeah, basically, life is a journey. So, when you say this story, I don't know which particular one.
Yeah.
Because, I'm humbly here because I talk from my own heart, from experiences I've had.
Yeah.
But I also talk from experiences I've seen other people have. So normally, in many instances, you find when we talk, we want to focus on us. But me, when I talk, I want to focus on you.
Okay.
And that's why at Crime Sipoa, our motto is it's about you.
All right.
So in brief is that basically I just used to stay across the street here.
Okay, here, Buruburu.
Me ni wa Umo.
Oh, I'm so Umo. Shout out to Umo.
So basically the key thing is that
Yeah.
I can't talk much about some aspects of my story because they're sub judice, they're in court. But the key thing is that I was wrongly convicted. I was sentenced to prison I was in prison for 18 years.
18 years.
18 years, yeah. And that's where we started Crime Sipoa actually in prison. That Crime Sipoa was started on death row committee.
Okay.
And so we didn't want young people coming to prison. And we felt that if we talk to them, or we got people to talk to them when they're out here, then they'd know that crime does not pay.
Yeah.
Now, the key thing is that not everyone in Kamiti is guilty. So the other thing we try to do at Crime Sipoa is to destigmatize. When we're talking about people who've made mistakes, when we're talking about broken down judicial systems, like the one that took me to prison, it's not about shouting names. It's about if something is broken, how do you fix it? So if it's a system that's broken that took people to prison, it could have taken many other people to prison.
Yeah.
So by just focusing on Pete, you won't solve that issue. But when you focus on that system, then you get to solve the issue.
Okay.
So what I keep telling young people nowadays is that we have challenges everywhere. We have troubles everywhere. I mean, I was in a physical prison for 18 years, but there are people who are in mental prisons out here.
Yeah.
There are people who can't put a meal on their table right now.
True.
There are people who don't have rent right now as I'm talking to you. There are people who are sick.
True.
Those are all kinds of prisons. So if we just focus on the physical and we forget about the others, then many times we don't know what even leads people to end up in the other side.
Yeah.
So as we talk about crime, we talk about it holistically. What options do the young people have? Right now during COVID, I'll tell you for free, we started our interventions as Crime See Poor in March. The first case was announced, I think, on 12th or 13th.
Yeah.
And immediately after that, Crime See Poor went to the ground to intervene in the COVID situation.
Okay.
Now, our partner, Shofco, Shining Hope for Communities, which is based in Kibra, but is a big organization, we decided to start in 10 areas.
Okay.
Shofco was not strong on the youth. They're strong on the other aspects.
Yeah.
So we came along as partners to work with the youth.
All right.
The key thing I've seen, and which I'll share with you right now, is that I've seen so much energy. I've seen so much focus. I've seen so much determination and so much willingness to change this country from the youth.
Yeah.
Because most of these youth came out to volunteer. We started with, I think, 8. Right now we have over 100 youth in Kibagare, in Gidogoro, in Mjuauruma, Kananbi in Dandora. We have Soweto in Kayole and Mudaiga.
Yeah.
Monday we are going to Nakuru.
So what exactly are you doing on the ground with the youth?
So we started with our main remit is on crime prevention and crime awareness.
Okay.
And we know that things like sexual and gender-based violence have been high.
Yes.
So how do we get the youth to talk about it and also to ensure that there is no escalation of sexual and gender-based violence, for example? If the youth talk about it and their parents are doing it, then the parents will be easier to listen to their young people than even to their peers. Secondly, let's agree that Kamiti is not, and Kamiti and the other prisons is not what it used to be. We used to say that in Kamiti you have Jambazi Sugu. Majority of people in our prisons now, not only in Kamiti, are not there for robbery or the other offenses.
Yeah.
The biggest crime taking people to prison now is sexual offenses. So unless we face it and talk about it and let the young people talk about it openly, then we'll be wondering where the young people have disappeared to.
Yeah.
Na wako tu huko, na
So we
wanatoka
start
tu hapa.
correcting it from the
We
ground.
start talking, we talk about it. So
Yeah.
we've been talking about COVID. We have wash stations. As at the end of June, the wash stations we had put through the help of Shofco and other partners had been used over 5 million times. We have 176 wash stations. We're supporting 125 toilets. We supply soap for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we supply hand washing soap for free. And anybody watching this and their area don't have soap, just get in touch with Crime See Poor. We'll ensure that you have that soap. Because the key thing about COVID, we're told, is about hand wash.
Yeah.
Hygiene, hand wash and stuff. So these guys have been leading the campaign from the front.
Yeah.
Even Ongatarongai, sorry. And then number 2, distributing sanitizers.
Yeah.
All these we do for free. And then, of course, we have information murals around. The third thing, identifying those who are suffering, vulnerable families that don't have food and stuff. And then we either support or we get partners to support. So the Rotary Club, Shofco again, Sarakasi Trust, different partners have come on board. Stanbic Bank, they've come on board, and then we are working together with them to see that those who need the support get that support.
Okay.
The fourth aspect of it is we continue talking about crime and mentoring girls on menstrual health and hygiene and getting them sanitary packs and basically hygiene packs. And that's the other thing we tell young guys. Don't feel ashamed talking to young girls about what helps them. We've taken menstrual health to be a dirty thing for a long time. But if we stigmatize it and young boys talk about it because it's left as a ladies thing, and
True.
yet it cuts across. These
Yeah.
are our sisters, these are our daughters, these are, So the young people we've taken on board have been going out to do that.
Yes.
So just like I told you, I've seen resilience and leadership in young people.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Funny enough that you've mentioned that the majority of people at Kamiti are being taken there because of sexual offenses. That is the topic that we've been covering actually the past 1 month now. And there are so many aspects of this conversation, I think, that really, really needs to be covered on a whole other level, because people are shying away from talking about this. I don't know what kind of response you've gotten from the areas that you have been working and engaging the youth in terms of this aspect and in terms of this topic, and what kind of I know there's so many interventions that you're doing, but what kind of responses are you getting? Is it positive? Are you seeing as though we are getting through to the youth who need to be spoken to about this issue?
No, what I'm telling the youth is, at Crime C4, let me just be clear.
Yeah.
We don't say the time for the youth is tomorrow. We say the time for the youth is now.
Now.
And so we are telling the youth to take leadership, be it on the crime issues, be it on sexual and gender-based violence, whatever it is,
Yeah.
be it on hygiene, whatever it is,
Yeah.
can the youth stand up and be counted?
Yeah.
I'm working with graduates who don't have jobs, and right now they're selling eggs. Not because they want to sell eggs, but because they don't want to mess up their lives
Yeah.
by doing something else.
True.
So whatever it is that it takes, I just want to encourage the youth of this country to stand up and be counted. It's not a time for following, it's a time for leading.
Yeah.
And we've been so used to waiting for people to give us the cue to tell us this is the way to go.
Yeah.
And yet we say we know the way. You look at the technology, look at the people in this street, they're all young guys. Why can't we use the platforms we have? We have social media influence. What kind of messages are we sharing with them? Whatever space any young person is, they should use it productively for the good of country and for glory of God.
Okay. Let me take you back to your experience in prison. How was life behind bars? This platform, we want to engage the youth. We are engaging the youth and giving them first-hand experience of, you guys, this is what you're going to find on this other side. So please do whatever you can to stay on this other side, not to experience. What was your experience like?
You see, I'll just correct you. If you say do whatever you can, that means you can also bribe so that you don't go to prison.
Oh, wow. Don't do that. That's not what we're advocating for. That's not what we're advocating for.
I'm just letting youth know that you can live a straight life. But in the event, we have a program at Crime People and Access to Justice program, where we run a project called Sheria Mashinani.
Okay.
So Sheria Mashinani is about equipping every young Kenyan with legal knowledge to know how to navigate the legal scope. So that even if you go to present yourself before a policeman or before an administration person, you know how to do it. Number one. Yeah. Number two, just keep off crime. Don't say that I can do this and I'll bribe my way out. Nowadays you're finding cops who don't know what bribes are. So when they catch you, that's it. I also know that there are wrongful convictions and wrongful arrests. Those are issues we deal with directly. Other human rights organizations like Human Amnesty deals with it directly.
Yes.
And the DCI, the DCI and the ODPP, they're very supportive. If you take to them a case and tell them this is a framed up case, I'll tell you they take it up immediately.
Okay.
So those are public offices. The youth should not fear approaching those offices.
Yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah.
All our members, wherever they are, one of the key things they do is that they have an open communication line with the local police. They're not informers. They just know that if we have any right that has been infringed, we can go and get redress at that place.
Okay.
So when we live like we fear the police, and yet they're part and parcel of our lives, then we miss it. Number two, do you know whether you're doing wrong or not? Sometimes we just do it, ilu manga, we say to manga. And whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
But you asked me a direct question. How is life behind bars?
Yeah.
I'll tell any youth, don't dare go to prison. Because you see, the thing is, the biggest challenge is your liberty is taken away.
Yeah. Maybe you can paint them a picture. And, when you tell them,
I
don't.
By the way, you see, the thing is,
Yeah.
I don't want to scaremonger.
No, you're not scaring.
I just want to tell the young people that there are consequences to any decision that someone makes. We are seeing even high-flying guys ending up behind bars right now. So it does not discriminate. But lucky are they who end up behind bars. What of the ones who are being killed at scenes of crime?
True, very true.
That is our biggest concern, that young people, you know that owning a gun illegally is not allowed. You know that going to terrorize people and killing people and robbing them and raping them is not allowed. Right now, by the way, many times people say it's the police who did this. They don't know that it's their neighbors, it's the people within the estate who say, Peter Metuchosha, we don't want to see this guy. So let's just live right. Let's do right.
Yeah.
There's nothing that young people should be scared of if they're doing right. And I'll tell them for free. If they're doing right and anyone infringes on their right, let them call Crime Support. We'll talk on their behalf. Because even the community will stand up and say, these guys have not done anything wrong. But if you know that when ndio unaangaisha watu mtaa, si nataka tukuongeleshe utoke katika hiyo hali.
Yeah.
We can, the most we can do is talk with you and pray for you and pray with you.
Okay. Do you feel as though this kind of initiatives, if they were there back then, probably your life wouldn't have ended up going the way it did? You wouldn't have probably ended up in Kamiti, wrongfully convicted. Do you think that if these initiatives were there, they actually bring an end to, or not bring an end, or they're trying to bring an end to many wrongful convictions?
No, you see, the thing is, there are different aspects to being taken to prison. Like I've told you, I went to prison in 1998. Maybe you're not even born by then, but let me just,
Wow, that's a compliment. I looked at you.
But the key thing here is,
Yeah.
that was a broken down system. And it's that system that we saw through, and we fought very hard for it to be changed in the new constitution. So right now we are like, what? Is it working in the constitution or
Wait
not?
a minute. You did that behind bars? You were pushing for constitutional change?
I
Yeah.
mean, I have to thank Justice Mutunga. He told us, you don't fight when you're in prison,
Yeah.
and you don't fight when you're out here. If something is broken, fix it.
How are you able to fight for what you believe when you were behind bars?
You know, your rights are not taken away by
Yeah.
virtue of the fact that you're in prison.
Yeah.
You have every right apart from the fact that you don't have your liberty. So many people don't know, but our prisons run an open door policy. The prisons I went into in 1998
Yeah.
was changed in 2003 by President Kibaki.
All right.
So the doors were open. You
Yeah.
can go in, you can have games, you can do whatever you want, as long as it helps in the rehabilitation process of the people behind bars.
Okay.
One of the key things we do is we don't call people in prison like mabusu, like people out here, like wafungwa.
Inmates.
Nowadays they are called clients. They're clients. Even the askaris, you'll hear calling them clients because they are destigmatizing and helping someone appreciate that this is just a process. Someone is sick, they're admitted to hospital,
Yeah.
they get better, they get out and continue with their lives. And that's the process we want to have even with people who've been behind bars.
Yeah.
Don't forget Kenya is a Christian nation, right?
True. Largely
Or
Christian,
largely
yes.
we say so.
Largely, yes.
And we worship Christ. And Christ was on death row.
Yes, he was.
So we worship our prisoner. I mean, if you just take it on a big scale,
Yeah.
let's not take it so heavily like someone has been to prison. Let's accept these guys. I'm telling you, they're doing wonderful things. Right now I'm here, but the guys who are packing food to go serve guys out there are people who were in prison.
Yeah.
They're doing great, great work. They're leading.
Yeah.
As we're talking to you right now, in Rongai yesterday, we had a groundbreaking ceremony. Was handed over that land, ex-inmates. We're going to put up a resource center donated by the county government of Kajiado.
Amazing. Amazing.
No. So we've found the community accepting. And I want to talk to my brothers in Eastlands, because I haven't done much in Eastlands, so that's my home,
Yeah.
that we have to take leadership. Eastlands has the biggest number of inhabitants in Nairobi. We are not just going to wait until elections, then we say we are going to vote this person to get rid of crime.
True.
It's us to get rid of crime. It's us to create environments where investments can come into Eastlands.
Yeah.
We don't have to go to Inda, ndio tupate kazi, whereas we can do things within Buru and Eastlands and Jerry,
Yeah.
all these big spaces.
Yeah.
So what I want to encourage guys, wherever they are right now, is that just focus on the positive aspects of life. If you make a mistake and you end up behind bars, it's a rehabilitative process. Don't take it as a punishment. If you're wrongfully convicted, I trust God. You'll come out.
Okay.
You'll come out stronger.
All right. Wow. Let me play the devil's advocate over here for one moment. You've talked about rehabilitation and not taking prison as a certain way, but take it as rehabilitation. But there are some clients, who serve their term. They come out even more hardened to go back out there and commit crimes. It's like they were actually having nikawa walienda shule kuhadeniwa on how this life is handled. Ndio warudi nje to terrorize people. What can you say about that?
I want to say that's cliche. It's been assumed that prison is a breeding ground for training guys to harden. I want to be given an example of one person. One person. Yule ameka Kamiti miaka 10 amekuja na ngesha watu hapa nje. Just one.
Yeah.
Just tell me, Pete, huyu jamaa mlikuwa naye Kamiti ama alikuwa Kamiti, amerudi hapa nje na ngesha watu. These guys, you'll find them in car washes. You'll find them doing menial work because wanajua uchungu ya kukajela. If it's someone who's been taken to remand, then charged, released on bond, and they commit another crime, that's not someone who's been convicted. Lakini yule ashajichuna sikio, yule ashapelekwa pale ndani amejichuna sikio. Show me one who's been in committee for 10 years. Amerudi hapa nje anangaisha watu. That's the challenge I want to give you guys.
Okay.
Because we need to talk to him.
Yeah.
We need to reach out to him. We have right
We
now.
hear stories. We hear stories. We might not have like specific information that uyu ni uyu, but we have read stories. It's they may not be as many as they are out there as we may want to, assume. But one in a particular population, it's happening. Yeah. So we can't be blind to, or we can't give a deaf ear to that kind of scenario that it's not happening.
Yeah, I agree with you. And,
Yeah.
and that's why I say if one deviant behavior comes across,
Yeah.
that's not reflective of the bigger
Of the
percentage
bigger,
of
yeah.
who are coming out wanting to make a change in their lives. So we can't focus on that one person. Ndio nasema huyo mmoja mtusaidie tumuongeleshe.
Yeah.
But the bigger percentage are the guys who are coming out and doing great things out here. Let's just be honest about it. Like, there are guys who come out, as you say, they didn't get any skills. Maybe they fall back into wrong company. But where are they?
Yeah.
We read about them when we were in prison. We were being told, huyu jamaa ametoka Kamiti. And yet, you've been in Kamiti for 18 years. You know everyone who's been there. Shindwa Kamiti gani hizi?
Ni kama shule mnajuana tu kila mtu.
No. I mean, it's a school. It's a
Yeah.
college. It's a college because it's a reformation center.
Yeah.
But the key thing is, I don't like blanket condemnations. And I don't condemn people.
Yeah.
The key thing is, if the reform system is not working, how can we improve it? If the prison reform system is not working, so people are coming out hardened, as you say,
Yeah.
then what can be done to improve it?
Okay.
So that we ensure that that one person, we are Arabia kila mtu jina, is not there.
All right. I would like to ask you, how was your after leaving prison? How were you taken back by the community? Did you find people welcoming, and has that stigma of people putting away other people who have been have lived in prison for too long? You know that stigma of hatutaki kuassociate na huyu mtu. Did you face it? And the people you've worked with, have you experienced someone who has really been so stigmatized they can't face the community?
One thing I'll say about that is that I've never been stigmatized. I wasn't stigmatized, speaking for myself,
Yeah.
because my friends, everyone knows me,
Yeah.
and they know I was wrongfully convicted.
Yeah.
So my life continued. I was behind bars, but my mind, my heart never slept behind bars.
True.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Stigma is real. And to that effect, at Crime Super, we've helped ex-clients form an organization that's going to cater for their welfare.
Okay.
So all ex-inmates, we call it Association of Returning Citizens. You know, they were in the diaspora, now they're back.
They're back. They're back.
And
from the
they're back to
diaspora,
lead,
yes. Yeah.
to show guys the way forward. So that is one way we are breaking. But I'll tell you one thing. Guys are coming out of prison after 15 or 20 years with skills like crazy.
True.
No, they've
True.
learned stuff. They
Yeah.
can do you this room and everything else.
Yeah.
These guys are being employed. And we are still lobbying for them to be employed. The biggest stigma ex-inmates face is that, or returning citizens face, is that there's that certificate of good conduct. So they can't be given that certificate of good conduct. And we are still lobbying to see what can be done because these guys have paid their debt to society.
True.
So they shouldn't continue wearing that tag and they can't get jobs because of that certificate of good conduct.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you for free. There are two guys we recommended who are in prison for a long time. One is a tailor, one is a welder. But no, it's not a tailor, a mason, carpenter.
Carpenter. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to tell you who employed that person. But within a year,
Yeah.
we haven't had any complaint, and this guy even wants to take in more ex-committee. That means there's something special in the guys who've come out and they've transformed and reformed their lives.
Yeah.
So what I tell guys, give them a chance. Accept them. They're your kids, they're your brothers, they're your sisters.
Yeah.
And the ladies who've been, sometimes we just talk about the men. Ladies even find it hard. You'll find that a guy goes to prison, he's there for 15 years, the wife is faithfully looking after the kids and waiting for him. Lakini jamaa tu, wife akingia Langata. The next month,
I may take off.
shajipanga.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage guys, this family.
Yeah.
And whether it's your wife who's gone in or your brother or your sister, let's visit them, let's love them.
Yeah.
They're walking a journey. And they'll come out, and you need to have them out stronger and better. Yeah.
All right. Well, we have, thank you, you guys who are back home. Thank you for your comments, your questions. There's some comments here. Peter, you're doing a good job. From Sam Ngari. Michael Black, great show, guys. Good conversation. There's a question here. How are the young people you deal with how are the people who you're dealing with coping up with the effects of COVID? Watu wa mtaa?
Watu wa mtaa shida niko nayo ni chakula. Na vijana hawana pesa ya rent. So I'll tell you, like, kama hii kazi mtaani imekuja ikasaidia vijana wengine.
Yeah.
Lakini sio wote.
Sio wote.
In Rongai, I'll be very honest, 35 out of the 35 crime people volunteers were taken up. Like the community said, these are the guys who have to be taken up.
Yeah.
In Dandora, where we have, in one group, we have 16, only 3 were taken up. But just this week, because even though they were not taken up in Kazimtani, they continued volunteering.
Yeah.
The DO saw what they were doing and he's come and told them he wants to take more. In Kibagare, more have been taken.
Yeah.
We're just telling the youth. And what I'm seeing about the youth with this COVID thing is that wanapendana. Someone has 100 bob, atashare ule mwenzake.
Kabisa.
They're not, they're not holding back.
Yeah.
They know everyone is in this crazy moment. So my experience with the youth, I'll tell you one thing. I've seen leadership in the youth. I've seen love in the youth. In fact, the group we work with, majority wanaongozwa na madem.
Wow.
Na maboy wako pale ndio majority, lakini wanachagua madem ndio
All power.
There's nothing like, people are not looking at hii ni gender gani, hii ni kabila gani. Because us at Crime Power, we don't take politics.
Yeah.
We don't entertain. In fact, politicians know that. We don't give them the mic to talk politics. If they come to Crime Power, they come to serve the community.
True.
Because it's about service to God and to country.
And to country.
Sio kujijenga jina.
As it should be, yes.
Yeah. And that's what we're encouraging the youth. Hiyo 500 utapewa, udanganywe uende ufanye kitu kwa jirani yako. Wacha nayo. Think about what you can do as a community, as a youth group.
Yeah.
That ilo utasema sasa sisi hapa, kama wale vijana walikuwa Kayole, wamesema tunataka hivi. Watu wa Kibagare, tunataka hivi.
Yeah.
Then we work towards that.
Yeah.
Jointly. Crime People might not have it, but a friend of Crime People or a friend of yours could have it.
True.
And when we bring such platforms, I'm just telling the corporates and other guys, invest in the youth and invest in them now.
Tell them they might be watching.
Yeah, just invest in the youth. I'm just telling them, not they might be watching. They are watching.
They are watching, yes.
So just invest in the youth. Trust them. Trust their judgment, but lead them. Give them the leadership. Because in as much as they want to lead, kuna pali wako na gaps kidogo. Jua mayouth wanakuanga teke.
Kabisa.
Lakini inafaa speed governor kiasi saa zingine. Niambie hapa ndio ni sawa lakini tutaenda hivi.
Yeah.
We'll take this direction lakini bado itafika. Then the other thing I've heard is issues of conflict resolution and management.
True.
Because sometimes youth mmoja akiinuka sana mwingine haelewi kwa nini ameinuka hivyo. Na sisi tunaelewa ni nature ya mtu. So we give everyone that platform. So the youth must also engage themselves or open themselves up to conflict resolution and conflict management, principles. So that kama kuna jambo yote imetokezea, wasirushane mkono, wasivunje kikundi, waendelee wakitembea pamoja.
All right. As we wind up, does Crime Support offer, you've talked about welfare to returnees from the diaspora. Do you offer safe houses for them in case they don't have anywhere else to go to after they're back?
Yeah, that's what we're working on right now.
Yeah.
It's already in the pipeline. And God willing, it's just that we haven't had enough funding for it, but someone already offered us a big piece of land to put up a safe house. The key thing with many returning citizens is this: wame-miss home.
Sana.
Sete wana home.
Yeah.
So wakikuja kitu wanataka, how is he going to be assisted to settle back home? Don't forget, maybe the new vijana wa siku hizi sijui, the old guards that we were with in prison,
yeah,
hakuna mtu angeharibu mtaa yao.
walikuwa
Kama
wanatoka kwao.
ungesikia ati mtu ati akianga sijui ameiba sijui amefanya nini, not in their mtaa. So then they go back home because mtaa hakuharibu mtaa. They used to go places. But wajua siku hizi mambo iliharibika kidogo, napata vijana wadogo, jirani wako unamjua, yeye ndiye amekunyonga jioni, yeye ndiye amekunyonga pasi. But right now we are telling the youth, I mean, we've seen low crime figures in the areas we are working.
Yeah.
What we are telling young guys, ukiona dema ako peke yake jioni, mzindikisha afike kwao. That's the first thought, that let me ensure that my sister has reached home safely.
Yeah.
Because kesho ni dada yako atakuwa njiani.
True.
Na uta expect mtu pia brother yako ama beshte wako amfikishe home. So when we talk about this and young guys take it positively,
Yeah.
and we don't condemn them, they're the leaders we are seeing now. I've seen leadership emerge from the youth during COVID. That's my take.
Awesome. So anyone who is watching this, where can they find Crime Sipoa? Where can they interact with you? Social media or phone call? Okay. Physical location.
Okay. Physical location, though our offices are closed now.
Yeah.
But if you go to our website, crimesipoa.org, you'll find our telephone number there. You can call. The phones are all open 24/7, 12 hours a day.
12 hours a day, yeah.
So all the lines, you can reach one of our staffers on the numbers that are on our website.
Yeah.
And also on Facebook. We're on Facebook as Crime Sipoa. We're on Facebook as Crime Watch Kenya.
Crime Watch Kenya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Crime Watch Kenya is just about updating guys on the crime trends and how people can, change their lives. Then the Crime Sipoa page is more on human interest stories.
Okay.
You want to share your story, you want to do something about what the young guys are doing. It's about highlighting and escalating the page. I mean, what the young people are doing in this country.
Yeah.
Because Crime Sipoa is about the young people.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the only Zinjandro pastor. So,
Yeah.
having said that,
Yeah.
we're also on Twitter at Crime Sipoa Kenya.
Yeah.
I know there's an Instagram account, though it hasn't been active.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically we're on all social media handles.
Okay.
Yeah, but the key thing is our phone numbers are there. Reach us. Inbox us, we'll reply immediately.
All right.
Sarakasidom, second floor. We are not open now, but you can reach us anytime.
Okay.
I mean, we are working, but we are not taking in guests because of the COVID issues.
All right. Parting shot, facing the camera, maybe to the youth who are watching us today.
No, my parting shot is that Corona is here with us. We have to fight Corona. It's the new battlefront, and it's a war. So we have to arm ourselves. We have to have masks. We have to have the sanitizers. We have to wash our hands. We have to do every protocol that we are being told. But above all, let's keep out of crime. Wachana na uhalifu kwa njia yote. Tusisingiziwe, tukae maisha poa. Because crime does not pay. Secondly, I just love you guys, and I have seen leadership in you young people. Old people support the young people. Musione wivu. Vijana wako sawa. So let's support them. Let's give them that space.
Yeah.
In fact, when we support them, wakishatengeza kakitu in an honest way, watatujenga. So it's a win-win situation for us. So wazee kama sisi, tuwahindwe ama youth. Thank you. God bless.
Yeah, and when we support them, we also enjoy.
Maneno kanatoka.
Yeah, we also enjoy a safe environment.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to the show. Thank you for the initiative that you're carrying out there and impacting the society in the way that you are. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks for having me.
Karibu
Thank
sana.
you so much.
All right.
Land's expressions. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.